Is it working?
Close, ain't it?
'Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the East Dubuque City Council meeting. It is Monday, August 18th. I ask that you please turn your cell phones off during the meeting and please be quiet during discussions. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. (25-0816) call to order.
Bergmeyer,
Here.
Dagenhart,
Here.
Fleur,
Here.
Meyer,
Here.
Roby, Taylor,
Here.
Mayor Digman,
Here.
Attorney Hess. Here.
25-0817 staff reports. City manager report.
Thank you, Mayor. I think the biggest thing we had this past week, with the help of Donnie Slats helping us identify our stormwater issues down at Jordan and Cincinnati, and that identified what was kind of coming up toward Wall Street. We met with the railroad, the CN, Tony and I had a very good meeting there. I really have to commend Tony for the work he did with them, because it's not always easy working with the railroads, but in this case, we had a great meeting. In the immediate, the culverts were blocked down on the railroad property. It was something that there's kind of finger pointing back and forth. They talked about our stormwater we weren't able to get on their property to deal with the stormwater issues. And, but with the people that actually knew what they were doing down there, we came to an immediate agreement that led to the digging out of the areas around the culverts. And so we actually cooperated to the point that they used our end loader and our dump truck with CN staff person operating the equipment to work around all the stuff that they had going on down there, and then and open it up so that we get some relief. And then eventually they're going to have to get in and jet out the culvert. There's problems that you can only close the railroad lines for so long at a time. But so in the immediate, we should get some relief getting the water through toward the BN culvert, which is on the next set of tracks. In the mid-range, we discussed with them a joint project to open a ditch between the CN line and the BN line. At the BN line, there's about a 4-foot culvert that ends with the river. And so to the extent that we can open those things up, we should improve things downtown by quite a bit. And I just think that it was just an extremely positive meeting. We also talked to them about the grant that we're pursuing from the Illinois DOT, the $6 million grant downtown, followed by a second phase of $6 million in a later year up above. And we talked about how nice it would be if somebody with lobbyists and things like a railroad were working with us jointly to try to get that project going. So that would be a project that would improve our 3rd Street ditch, reverse the flow of water on Wall Street, reverse some of the flow in the flats, and I think could make a marked improvement in our stormwater. And then the second phase would be to hold back the stormwater up on top of the bluff before it comes crashing down. So we've got a immediate, a mid-range, and a long-term outlook, I think, for stormwater that was helped by that. So in other news, the Oxford project has begun. We had some difficulties with the detour that was set up, but I think we've been working with folks, and the detour has been improved up there. We're asking for patience because it is just going to be, that is an extremely tight place that we're working in. And so it's, no matter what you do, it's just going to be a difficult time while that project's going on. But it is a very important project that has been put off for too long. The emergency services building, the exterior is done. You can go by and see the archway that's been reopened from historic times, and the building has been retuck pointed and cleaned. The crew has moved to the inside. We met with the interior contractors this past week, and we expect the project to get moving pretty quickly so that they can close in the exterior and be able to work in the wintertime on the interior. So that's my report.
Thank you. I just want to take a moment on behalf of the Edge Foundation to thank everybody that came out to Wingfest on August 9th. It was a great turnout. I'd also like to thank the Public Works Department, the Fire Department, and the Police Department for their assistance throughout the day. It was, overall, it was a great day for the city. Drew a pretty big crowd over here, so it was a great event. Alderperson report. Bergmeyer?
Nothing this week, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Degenhart?
Nothing this time, Mayor.
Thank you. Fluer?
Nothing.
Meyer?
Nothing.
Thank you. Taylor?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. City Attorney Hess?
Nothing to report, Mayor.
Thank you. Police Chief Kovacic? Thank you. Public Works Director Van Ostren? Thank you. Fire Chief Heim? Thank you. Moving on, 25-0818, speakers from the floor. We do have one. Donnie? You'd like to make sure that the microphone's turned on there, please.
Sorry about that.
I went back up again, on Saturday and the dry day to walk it, and, there's, the pipe underneath the big set of tracks is just plugged halfway, you can't even actually get to the other side. There's so much overgrowth of trees, so once, get all that taken care of, it should take all that water that's coming down Jordan, so like I say, you pretty much covered it, but, I would like to say Jean's not here tonight, but, Jean has put a lot of effort into it too, and, sometimes she doesn't get the recognition, and she gets a lot of kickback, so, sometimes other set of eyes, helps out, so you always wanna take consideration when somebody, puts their 2 cents in, will say that, it's not always a bad deal, so,
Sure.
okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Don.
25-0819, consent agenda.
Still move.
Seconded.
Roll call?
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Dagenhart.
Aye.
Fleur.
Aye.
Meyer. Roby. Taylor.
Aye.
New business. 25-0820, discussion and possible action to approve an amendment to resolution number 24-0908 pertaining to memorandum of understanding between the City of East Dubuque and the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency regarding the use of a local groundwater or water well ordinance as an environmental institutional control as adopted on the 3rd day of September 2024 in the City of East Dubuque.
So this is pertaining to the wells that were have been monitored for many years to see if there is contamination in the groundwater from a facility across the railroad tracks. And we've been working for the past couple of years to get the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding with the Illinois EPA, just to close that project down. The good news is that our consultant has been monitoring these wells for years, and there is no sign of contamination moving out of that area, and so we've been given essentially the all clear. But unfortunately, once you get the all clear, you still have to work through a number of steps bureaucratically. And so we adopted an ordinance that basically limits, says that other people can't drill wells for water in the city except other than the city and things like that. So this is required by them, by the state. And we also then are required to have this MOU. The MOU had some basically technical changes, some references that weren't accurate, and so that's been fixed in this. And then we have to recertify that this ordinance covers the entire city and put another map into them of the city and update some of those things. So the hope is once we've done those, accomplished those things, we'll finally have an end to this process, and we can move forward. So,
Any questions or discussion? If not, I need a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call?
Dagenhart.
Aye.
Fleur.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
aye.
Twenty-five 0821, discussion and possible action to approve commercial facade improvement award to Bluff City Slots in the City of East Dubuque.
So this, we're excited about this. This is the first, I think, full-on facelift to a building, and so it's exciting. I hope that other folks that are listening will consider the deadline coming up on this in November. But this is put forward to get approval prior to the deadline. And I would ask for an amendment because he's got in here essentially the tuck point of the painting, stone facade, but he had been trying to work on a quote for the windows, and he had gotten everything from about $5,000 to $25,000, and so I would ask that we put in a $10,000 number for that. Nothing in this program. This is a reimbursement program. Remember, and so once we authorize someone to go ahead, they can get up to 50% of their cost, but they have to expend the money first, show us that they expended the money, and then we reimburse the 50%. So this would go from $20,051 to $30,051. And so the reimbursement, the maximum reimbursement would be $15,025, and it would be that amount or less. So I would ask for first an amendment increasing this by $10,000 for windows, and secondly an amendment passing it, or a vote passing it.
All right, so the first vote would be on the amended changes. So I would need a motion to approve.
I motion to approve that.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Fleur,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Taylor,
Aye.
Bergmeyer,
Aye.
Dagenhart.
Aye.
All right, now we would need a motion to approve the total project.
I'll make a motion.
Roll call.
Meyer,
Aye.
Taylor,
Aye.
Bergmeyer,
Aye.
Dagenhart, Fleur.
Aye.
So if I could just remind folks one more time that we are coming up against the deadline for this program. And I know there are several other places out there that, I guess Ms. Hides has taken advantage of it. This would be the second one, I guess. And then we've got two or three others. I think between the new construction, the reconstruction going on Cincinnati, and everybody that's talking about coming forward for a facade grant, I think we could really make a big difference in the downtown.
Absolutely. No, we definitely have some momentum. I talked to a couple other property owners that are going to be filling out their paperwork, so it's good. All right, 25-0822, discussion and possible action to approve purchase of one police squad with trade-in of Squad 3 in the city of East Dubuque.
Okay, so we've had a little string of bad luck with the squads. I suppose I shouldn't call it bad luck because we have stretched out the purchase of these for the last couple of years. Given the financial condition of the city, we have asked that they run these cars a bit longer than normally would be probably wise. And so in the last few weeks, Squad 3 has had a transmission go out, and it's not even worth trading at this point. And it's then Squad 2 had an engine go out. The engine's being replaced under warranty, and so our cost is going to be pretty limited on that, about $2,500, and so that'll come with a 3-year warranty. And so we should be good with that vehicle for the next several years. But we do have to replace Squad 3. And so all the repairs on Squad 2 come well within our budgeted amount for maintenance. We did budget this year. You recall back in April, we budgeted for a new squad to be purchased this year. We budgeted $40,000 toward a squad. We have other funds that can only be spent on law enforcement equipment, and that's about $17,000, $17,239. And the remainder would be made up in the donation account, donations that the police department has received. The total cost of a vehicle, we think, is going to be in the neighborhood of $65,000, plus or minus. And we would purchase a new Tahoe because that seems to be the vehicle that holds up much better than the Explorers did. And so I would ask for an amendment to this motion because since we did the motion, we found out that from a dealer that they really wouldn't be interested in a trade-in of Squad 3. So instead of trade-in, we would ask that this be amended to surplus Squad 3. And then I'd ask for a vote to purchase the new squad.
All right, so the first vote will be the amendment to go from trade-in to surplus. So I would need a motion to approve that amendment.
I motion to approve.
Roll call.
Taylor.
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Dagenhart.
Aye.
Fleur.
Aye.
Meyer.
All right, and the next vote would be to authorize purchase of one police squad.
So moved, Mayor.
Second. Roll call.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Dagenhart.
Aye.
Fleur.
Aye.
Meyer. Taylor.
Aye.
(25-0823), discussion and action to approve Knights of Columbus to hold annual Tootsie Roll Drive on Friday, September 12th, 2025, from 2 p.m. till 6 p.m., and Saturday, September 13th, 2025, from 8 a.m. till 12 p.m. at Wisconsin Avenue and Cincinnati Avenue intersection in the city of East Dubuque.
So as a Knight of Columbus, I'll withhold my comments, but I do support Tootsie Rolls and the Knights.
I vote to approve.
All right, so we have a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Dagenhart.
Aye.
Fleur.
Aye.
Meyer. Taylor.
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
(25-0824), discussion and possible action to approve Colby's tailgate party on October 11th, 2025, from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m., blocking off 3 parking spots in front of Colby's patio in the city of East Dubuque. Mike is here if anybody has any questions.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Fleur.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Dagenhart.
Aye.
(25-0825), discussion and possible action to approve payment number 2 to R&W Restoration LLC in the amount of $48,800 in the city of East Dubuque.
So this is the final payment for the work that Randy Williams and his crew have done over there. Everybody that's gone by, I think, has been impressed by it. And I would take this opportunity to just say that it is one thing to have a historic building restored. It's another thing to have a historic building restored by someone from town who knew that building over their lifetime and was really going at the job because they cared about that and they cared about their community and they wanted to have something that they could be proud of for many years to come. And I think that that building and that project is something that he will be proud of for many years to come, and the rest of us will be also. And so I would ask we approve this, but also if you see him, say thanks and let him know the job that he did and how it's appreciated by this community.
I motion to approve. Second.
Roll call.
Meyer.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Degenhardt.
Aye.
Fleur.
Aye.
25-0826, motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Taylor.
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Degenhardt.
Aye.
Fleur.
Aye.
Meyer.
We are adjourned.